Amy Elizabeth here, and today I'm just going to quickly show you how to extract film from a cartridge. So let's say you've shot a roll of film and your camera winds the film automatically back into the cartridge. My F100 does this, my N80 does this. My Nikon FE, I can manually wind it back. And so I just kind of listen for the sound when it releases the film and leave the leader out. But there are a lot of cameras in which you cannot leave the leader out, or you might accidentally wind it all the way back in. So this is just really handy to know how to extract film from a cartridge. So here's my film in a cartridge. I shot florals on this and I'm going to shoot over it for double exposures. You might want to extract film for expose both sides, EBS, double exposures, light leaks. Could be any number of reasons why you want to extract the leader back out. So what I do is I just take a spare piece of film. I do not have a film picker. I had one and I did not like it. It did not work well and it broke very quickly. So I did not replace it. So spare piece of film. This is just the end of a previously developed roll of film that I cut off. So there are a couple different ways I will do this. And the first way I typically start out is just using the spit technique. So I'll lick my finger and I'll get the emulsion side wet. All right. And it just gets a little tacky. I have found that spit works better than just water. Don't know why. Maybe because there's not as much as like running it over water, and so it kind of dries quicker, because it shouldn't be wet to the touch. It should be tacky. You should like kind of feel the emulsion. You can kind of like get a grip on it, and the grip is going to help you. So I stuck it in the cartridge and I'm going to wind to tighten the roll of film. So I'm going to wind it counterclockwise until the film catches, and I might have waited too long. Oh, it worked. All right. And then I usually I didn't think it was going to work. I usually kind of jab the film back in there before yanking it out quickly. It usually does not happen this quickly. All right, let's try it again. Don't worry, I have another roll of film I want to extract the leader from. Legitimately, I have 3 rolls I need to extract the leader from. All right, so I wind it clockwise until I kind of feel it butting up against the edge, the film, but not too much, because you don't want it to bend, because if the film bends, it's going to be really difficult to extract. So I put this spare strip in, and then I turn the knob counterclockwise to try to tighten it until it catches, and this time it's just not catching. So I kind of jab it in a little more, try to twist it. I have found that on 24 exposure rolls, it seems harder to catch, and I think it's just because there's more room in the canister. This was 36 exposures, and it's just tighter in the cartridge. Oh, okay, well, it worked. It worked anyway. All right, so that's how I would do that. But let's pretend like it's not this easy, which it normally is not. So here, I have another cartridge. This time I am going to assume it's not going to work. So I'm going to stick a strip of double-sided tape to the back. And I stick it a long way. All right. I recommend you do this in a closet or in a dark bag, because when you rip, it gets really stuck. And when you rip the film out, I've had like a ton of film come out, which is not ideal. So I'm going to stick it in. And it's a lot harder to get in because it wants to just get stuck on like the felt part. And I'm going to twist it, jam it in, twist it. Of course, this one's going to be the tricky one, right? All right, well, nevertheless, I'm going to yank it out. Now, ideally, you would yank this out as quickly as possible, just to keep with the grip and the momentum. But since I'm doing this in broad daylight, I don't want to risk ending up with a ton of film outside of my cartridge. So I'm going to pull it out gently, which is less effective, but we'll see if it sticks. No, so we'll try it again. All right, so let's say it's just not working. Part of it is I am trying to rip out the spare piece gingerly, which is not ideal. Ideally, I would do this in a dark bag, a changing bag, or a dark closet, and rip it out vigorously. But that is not an option for a viewing audience. So I might just rip it out anyway and lose some frames. All right, it's pretty tight. I won't twist more. No? Okay, I'm just gonna rip it out. Ready? That's why you don't do that. Outside of a changing bag, I'll just wind it back in. It's okay. It's okay. Lost a few frames. Doesn't matter. There you go. That's how you extract your film from a cartridge without a film picker. I prefer this technique, and it's free, which makes it even more ideal. All right, thanks for joining me.